Good afternoon, team. Thanks for joining us on a quick dynamics training. I'm seeing we're running into, challenges trying to find information. And one of the things we talk about a lot is what I call a unique identifier. Unique identifier is that one thing that we could use to find accounts or information that we're really looking for. You guys have gotten pretty good at adding the account ID to your emails and your interactions. The account ID can always be found. Let's actually just go to an account. And let's open up a customer here. And in the upper right-hand corner, you've got their OpenTech account number, 27198 in this particular case. So anytime you're interacting with CSM, BDM, tech support, onboarding, whatever, and you have a request or an escalation for them, don't just send the customer name, the account name, or the facility name. We all know those are big challenges for us to find. Make sure and send them the account ID. So that's one little tidbit. Another is I often talk about in two scenarios the physical address. So when we're doing homework on a new lead as a salesperson, we need to ask for the physical address so we can take a look at them in Google Maps. From the perspective as a CSM, the unique identifier for the facility is physical address. So we don't really have a facility ID. There's something called an ISSN ID, but we're not using that yet. So we often try and look for facilities by name or the number that they called them and everything else. But we all know that the physical address has not changed. So I've got an email here, a little example of, this is just a fake interaction, obviously. But, somebody sent in, hey, what products of yours do I use for facility number 12221, right? Joe Smith at Joe's Self Storage. So we get that a lot of the time. So what I actually asked was, what's the physical address, Joe? And he sent me back 10333 Denton Drive. So now I see a lot of you actually using the search bar up top, the universal search. And although that's okay at times, it just brings up a whole lot of data and a whole lot of information, right? So I highly recommend that we search by the entities themselves. So if I'm looking for accounts, I would go into the accounts entity. If I'm looking for contacts, I would go into the contacts entity and just make sure that I'm looking at all contacts and then use this find button over here in the right-hand corner to search within the confines of contacts. Well, now remember, we can do the same for facilities, right? But I added a component. It's not really looking for street address, number one. So I added, and you'll probably default to active facilities. That's probably the default. If you click on facilities on the left, this list will come up. But I've added a list view for everybody, and that is facility address search. And then if you go over here and you just pop open the little filter, it'll just have street one contains, and it says put address here. So let's actually put 1033 Denton in there. Maybe not even drive, because it might just be DR, it might be, DR period, whatever, right? So just put in 1033 Denton, and let's see if that pops them up. It does. It pops up a couple, and actually, wow, it pops up two separate ones that are currently active. So it drills me right down to the information that I need to be able to serve this particular client and maybe even resolve an issue. Let's drill down to the facility, and at the facility level, I have all the related information. So remember, using physical address or asking the customer for physical address is a great way to find information inside of Dynamics. It's also a great way to find information in Google. So let's actually go look at 1033 Denton Drive in Dallas, Texas. And let's drill down on the map. And here's that address right here. And I'm going to actually turn on the satellite view down here in the lower left-hand corner. And I can drill down a little bit, and I can actually see the storage facility right there. I can see the traffic. I can see, if they have walkthroughs or not. They're in a commercial area, so, they might have some walk-bys. You got a pawn shop right here and everything else. Also, another feature that will help you is on the left-hand side, you see where it says nearby. So I'm going to click nearby, and I'm going to type in self-storage and hit enter. So it's going to keep me in that same area, but then it's going to pop up all of the self-storage facilities that are locally. Look, there's some StoreQuest, Storage of Dallas. There's an iStorage over here, an Extra Space Storage. These are all really, really close to this one particular facility. So whether you're a salesperson or a CSM and you want to know what's going on at that local area and you want to see the competition and some other things about it, the physical address is really, really helpful to help you find the exact things you're looking for quickly. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope this was valuable for you. Bye-bye.